Hi Year 6 and welcome to Thursday's maths lesson. We're going to continue our learning on percentages of amounts today. So let's start by pausing here and telling me how you would find 50% of a number, 25% and 10%. Okay, well done if you remembered that to find 50% you half your number, you divide by 2. To find 25% you divide by 4 and to find 10% you divide by 10. So let's recap. How do you use 10% to find 20%? So if I have 10% of a number by dividing by 10, I can just multiply that by 2 because 20 is 2 times more than 10. So how do you think then you could find 5%? Well, you can take your 10% and you can divide it by 2. You can half it because 5% is half of 10%. So this helps us to show the steps that you need to take. So pause the video here, have a go, work out 10% first, and then half this answer to find out 5% and come back for the answers. Okay, so here are the answers. Hopefully you got these right. Let's take a look. We find 10% by dividing by 10. So 10% of 50 is 5. Then half that to find what 5% of 50 would be. 10% of 160 is 16. Half of 16 is 8. So that's 5%. 10% of 24. Now, some people might say we can't divide that by 10, but we can. It will just go to a decimal. We're going to shift the digits across. Half of 2.4 is 1.2. Well done if you got those right. So now we know how to find 50%, how to find 25%, how to find 10%, and how to find 5%. And this can help us to build up lots of different percentages. For example, if I wanted to find 55%, I could find 50 and 5 and add them together. If I want to find 30%, I get my 10% and times that by 3. Okay, there's one more percentage that we need to know how to work out, and then we can work any percentage of any number. So, how do you think we could find 1%? Look at your representation. It is 1 out of 100. So if I had the whole as 100, what would I be dividing by to get that 1 square? So it is 1%, it is 1 out of 100, and to go from my whole 100 squares to that 1 square, I would need to divide by 100. So let's have a look at these questions then. Bear in mind that to find 1%, I divide by 100. Can you pause the video and work out the answer to these 3 questions? Okay, well done if you had to go on your own. Here are the answers. So we start off easy. 200 divided by 100 is 2. 1,000 divided by 100 is 10. And then 350 divided by 100 is 3.5. Remember, you're shifting the digits 2 places when you divide by 100. So let's look at what we now know and recap. To find 50%, we divide by 2. To find 25%, we divide by 4. To find 10%, we divide by 10. To find 5%, you find 10% first by dividing by 10, and then we divide that by 2. And to find 1%, you divide by 100. It might be super helpful for you to come back to this slide when you're doing your independent work later, or for you to note down now those little rules, because that's going to help you find any percentage of any number. Let's look at an example to prove that. So how would you find 15% of 200? Pause the video to have a little think and then I will explain. Okay, let's see what you thought. So 15%, I have to think about 15. What is it made up of? Looking at these numbers that I know I've got rules for finding, how could I make up 15? So I could do 10% add 5%. So 15% of 200 equals 10% plus 5%. So 10% of 200 equals, make this a bit smaller so that I can do my working out with you. So I'll do 10% first. 10% of 200, divide that by 10. 200 divided by 10 is 20. So that's 10%. 5% of 200 equals, I've got 10% was 20. To find 5%, I need to half that, divide that by 2. So 20, half of 20 is 10. And then 15% of 20, therefore, equals the 200 equals the 20 plus the 10 equals 30 is my final answer. I hope that makes sense to you. You just use these as building blocks. So let's have a check that we've understood that. Here is a little table then, and I want you to pause the video and fill in how to work out each one. There are lots that we've talked about, and at the bottom is a challenge one for you to tell me how you would work it out. Now, we don't have numbers, we're not finding the percentage. This is just for you to tell me how I would work out 50%, 25%, and so on. So pause the video and note down, and then come back and I will show you. Okay, hopefully you were able to get most of those. Don't worry if 26 was too much of a challenge, because it might have been. Let's have a look at the answers. So, to find 50%, we're dividing by 2. To find 25%, we're dividing by 4. To find 10%, we divide by 10. To find 20%, we divide by 10 to find our 10%, and then times that by 2. To find 70%, we divide by 10 to get our 10%, and then times by 7. To find 5%, we divide by 10 to get our 10%, and then divide by 2 because 5 is half of 10. To find 1%, we divide by 100. Now, to find 26%, we're thinking of the building blocks that we've got. We could add 20 and 5 and 1. Let me demonstrate that quickly. So, 20% equals 20 plus 5 plus 1. So if I wanted to work out 26% of 300, I would need to get 20, 5 and 1. In order to get my 20 and my 5, I first need 10, but I'm not going to add that in at the end. Look at the question as I've set it out here and go and have a go. Pause me and come back. Okay, so let's work it through together. 10% of 300 is 30. Then I use that to find 20. I double it, 60. To find 5%, I take my 10% and I half it, 15. And to find 1%, I can just divide my number by 100, 3. Now I look back and I say, what did I need? I needed 20. 20% is 60. I needed 5. 5% is 15. And I needed 1, 3. So then I can work out my final answer. 60 plus 15 plus 3, 60 plus 15 is 75, add 3 is 78. So 26% of 300 would be 78. I hope that that makes sense. Today, you have got a variety of choices. So you've got an easier sheet looking at these more complicated percentages, a harder sheet with some problems looking at this more complicated percentages, a challenge problem to work your way through that's got quite a few steps. But if all of this seems a bit too much and you just want to practice what you did yesterday, there is also a sheet to practice 50, 25 and 10%. So go off and have a go. Remember, if you need any help, you can come back and join us at 12:10 on Teams for some live support. Thank you for watching.